Hey everyone, welcome to the Breakthrough Entrepreneurs Show, where we empower entrepreneurs to overcome the challenge of work life balance, burnout, break bad old, unhealthy, negative habits, behaviors, build new habits, create new rituals, new routines. I'm your host, Muhammad Faraj, and today our topic is how time wasters are holding you back from building the life you want. As entrepreneurs, we often talk about goals, dreams, work, focus, commitment, and hard work, but we rarely talk about time wasters. We rarely talk about habits, activities, events that we do in our daily entrepreneurial life that are wasting or consuming a big chunk of our time, a big chunk of our life. And we don't realize that the reason why we're not becoming healthier, happier, more fulfilled, the reason why we don't make big wins, big progress, big transformation in our daily healthy life, and we don't reach those milestones, we don't achieve those goals, and they are taking us too much time, too much effort, too much energy without seeing big results, big wins, big achievements in our life. It's because there are habits, there are activities that are running in our daily life that are consuming so much time, so much energy from our own entrepreneurial life, but we don't realize it. We don't realize that those habits that are impacting us, that are stealing our time, our energy silently, and when we don't remove those habits, when we don't replace those habits, we don't see a big change in our daily life. We don't see life transformation, or we don't feel very happy, very satisfied about our daily entrepreneurial life. So, some of those habits are like watching TV or various programs or Netflix or sport events and spending a big chunk of your time, or going out for late nights, or spending too much time playing video games, or spending too much time on scrolling on social media. We don't realize how impactful these habits are. We don't realize that are keeping us stuck, that are preventing us from building and growing and scaling our businesses. So once I became aware of these habits, I looked back at my time, at my years back then, and I realized that, oh my God, I'm using a big chunk of my life, a big chunk of my time every day, every week, every month, every year on things that are not making me a better person, that are not making me a better entrepreneur, that are not making me happier, more fulfilled, or more successful, that are not aligned with my goals, with my purpose in life, that are not aligned with my mission in my own entrepreneurial life. So, in this episode, I'm going to talk about this topic, time wasters, and some habits that are draining your energy, that are stealing your time. And I'm going to guide you on replacing some of those time wasters, some of those activities, some of those habits that you do them daily, weekly, monthly in your own entrepreneurial life, but you don't realize that you are spending a big chunk of your life, your time on these things that aren't making you happy, more fulfilled, more successful, that are not helping you build, grow, and scale your business, that are not aligned with your goals and with your dreams and with purpose of your life, but you keep repeating them. You keep falling into this trap. So first step is to gain awareness about some of these time wasters and how much they are impacting our daily entrepreneurial life. So when we let bad habits, when we let those time wasters steal our time, steal our focus, steal our productivity, we remain stuck in our business. That's why so many entrepreneurs, they struggle with their habits, with their routines, with their behaviors, and it feels like they work hard. They say we do our best, but it seems like we remain stuck in our business. We don't see so much wins. We don't see so much results. We don't see a big difference in our entrepreneurial life, in our health, in our focus. We don't make big wins. So it's because you're letting some of those habits, some of those behaviors eat your time, consume your time, your energy, without paying attention on, are these habits are aligned with my entrepreneurial life? Are those behaviors, those routines, those activities, those people, those things that I'm repeating every day, every week, every month, are they aligned with my mission? Are they aligned with my goals, with my dreams? Are they making me a better person? Are they helping me strengthen my relationships? Are they helping me empowering my mindset and making me a confident person? So you don't realize how those time wasters are impacting your life, your business, your relationships, your mindset. So when you let those habits run in your life, they steer your behavior. They control your time. They control your energy. So you consume too much time on things that are not connected with your purpose, with your goals, with your dreams, and you let them holding you back. You let those time wasters, those habits prevent you from doing the hard work, from eating healthy, from becoming more fit, from making progress in your business. So you let them take a big part of your life, but you don't realize that those habits that are taking a big chunk of your life or your entrepreneurial daily life, that are preventing you from building that life you always dreamed to build. So once you realize, once you become aware of some of those activities, some of those things that are not serving you, that are not making you a better person, that are not improving your entrepreneurial life, that are not making you a healthier person or entrepreneur, you make a big transformation in your daily life. You start your life transformation journey once you realize that there are things in your daily life that you should be removing, that you should be replacing them with better, healthy, positive habits. You see, some of those common time wasters or habits that we keep repeating in our daily entrepreneurial life, and we don't gain awareness, we don't become aware of how much we have already wasted time, how much energy we have wasted on things that after years we find out that, oh my God, I've been doing things, I've been repeating habits, I've been repeating behaviors that are not eventually making me a better person, that are not making me happy, that are not making me successful, that are not driving results in my business, in my entrepreneurial life. So you look back at those habits, at those things, at those activities after years ahead, and you feel disappointed. You become shocked how much time, how much energy you have spent or wasted on these things, and in the reality, those things that weren't serving you, that have been impacting you and stealing your time and impacting your business, your healthy life, your relationships. So I learned from my own personal experience that, and because I made so many mistakes and I had so many failures in my own entrepreneurial life in the past few years. But those failures, those setbacks, those mistakes, those bad habits, they were lessons to me. I learned from them. I gained awareness. I realized that if I let those habits take a big chunk of my life, then I will never live a happy, fulfilled, successful, and healthy life. So some of these common habits or time wasters that I would like to share with you that I learned from my own personal experience, that these habits, they should not exist in our daily entrepreneurial life, because we as entrepreneurs or solopreneurs, or whether you're families who run businesses or companies, you have a mission in your entrepreneurial life, which is to help, to serve, to improve other people's life, to add value in other people's life. So maybe you're working on a particular product or building a service. So your goal, your mission in life is to help and support others. And I believe that anything that are not making you a happy person or fulfilled, and that are not aligned with your mission, with your goals, with your dreams, anything that is not aligned with your purpose, with your meaning of your business journey or your entrepreneurship, that means they're just time wasters. So you're wasting time on things that are not connected to your vision, to your future vision. You're wasting time, so much energy on things that are not aligned with your mission in your entrepreneurial life. So some of these common time wasters that are not helping us become a better version of ourselves or transforming our life. And once I became aware of these habits of time wasters, this was a starting point for me to start my own entrepreneurial journey. This was a starting point for me to start my life transformation journey. So, some of these common time wasters are: number one is your TV. I mean, I've been feeling so happy, so blessed for the last few years for not having any TV in my house. I had TV, I don't know, like 3, 4, 5 years ago. And while I was moving from one apartment to another apartment, my TV just fell down and the screen got broken. So I damaged my TV because I dropped it on the floor and it went broken, and I had to throw my TV in the garbage. And I've been feeling so happy, so grateful for that TV got broken, because damaging my TV and removing that TV from my own daily life, it made me a much better, healthier, much better, fitter, much more focused, much more productive, and much more happier and healthier person. Because before, I had this bad habit where every time I got distracted, every time I got procrastinated, every time I didn't feel like I want to do the hard work, what I would do is I would just constantly default back to my TV. I would go and spend hours, sometimes a whole day, watching TV, watching news, watching sport, watching TV shows and movies. So since that TV got broken, I've been feeling much happier, much healthier, and I'm not wasting any minute on watching TV. So I don't have a TV in my home, and I've been so feeling happy about not having this TV, and I will never buy or bring a TV to my house. And instead, I replaced that TV with reading books, with reading articles, with learning, with improving skills. So if you have a TV in your living room, odds are you will default back to your TV. You will procrastinate. You will escape doing hard work and defaulting to your TV because it's in your environment, it's visible enough, and it's time for you to just spend big chunk of your time and hours on TV and watching content that is not making you a better person, that is not teaching you anything, that is not improving your healthy life. So what I would recommend you is to remove your TV from your environment, and if your couches are confronting the TV, just move your couches or hide your TV in your closet. And my best recommendation is not to have a TV in your living room, or just remove that TV. I don't know, give it to someone else, or maybe throw it, or maybe sell it. And if you really want to watch a TV, just hide your TV inside a closet, at least during the work days, at least during the work hours. Maybe you can put it back after work day on the evening, or maybe only during the weekend, but you get to decide. But the most important thing is you should not waste your time or spend a big chunk of your time watching TV. Instead, replace it with a good, healthy, positive habit of reading books. So instead of having TV, put some books on a table by your couches. So every time you relax, every time you want to rest, when it's weekends, every time, every member of your family, or if you're single, everyone will default back to those books. So instead of spending time watching Netflix or sport events or movies, you can read books that will help you learn about anything in life. You will gain knowledge. You will maintain a learning and growth journey in your entrepreneurial life. So you're working on your business, you are improving your health, at the same time you are improving and growing your learning. So you're learning and you are growing. And the other habit, or the other common habit that so many entrepreneurs have in their daily life, in their environment, is whenever they feel tired, or whenever they want to rest, or after a work hours, or after a work day, they scroll on social media. You see, scrolling on social media is a big distraction, and it's very unhealthy. It's not only unhealthy for your brain, it's not only unhealthy for your body, for your health, but it's not healthy, and it's unhealthy for your relationships, because so many people, when they should be spending good quality time with their families, with their kids, what they do is they ignore their families, they ignore their kids, they ignore those human beings that they are surrounded with, by just looking at their mobile device and just scrolling on social media. And basically you're telling your families, or you're telling those humans in your house, that your device, that social media, is more important than your family. Whereas you should be spending good time with your family, talking to them, enjoying a good healthy meal, and spending time with your kids, helping them with their homework, listening to their thoughts, to their daily life. So replace this bad habit or time waster of having device, or checking your device, or scrolling on social media. Replace it with spending time with your family, with your kids, and doing enjoyable activities. And the other common bad habit that so many entrepreneurs have in their environment, in their daily life, and that is not helping you become a better version of yourself, and instead it is causing you stress and living a random life, which is hanging out with friends at late nights. You see, I used to have this bad habit where I used to hang out with friends and we would scroll on social media or play video games, or we would just hang out and talk for late nights. And I impacted my sleep, where I didn't want to leave this cozy atmosphere. I didn't want to go back home. I would stay at my friends' places, or I would tell myself I'm gonna go back home tomorrow, and I would not go to bed on time. I used to hang out with friends, with people, and the atmosphere, the environment felt so enjoyable, so fun, but it prevented me from going to bed on time, from following my structure, and it impacted my sleep, and it impacted next day my productivity, where when I slept bad and when I had a terrible night's sleep because of hanging out late nights with friends. So next day I would turn into a zombie. I would feel very mentally fatigued, brain fog, and unproductive. I can't focus. I feel sweaty. I feel like terrible. I had even high stress, like chronic stress, because I would go to bed, I don't know, 2 or 3 p.m. late in the night. I would spend a big chunk of time spending time with friends, and I didn't want to leave that environment. I didn't want to go back home. I didn't want to go to bed on time, which is 22 p.m. So because of my bad habit, I wasted days, I wasted weeks, months because of this very simple bad habit. So instead of spending too much time or late nights with friends, I would recommend you that you do meditation, relaxation, exercises, and spending time with your families, instead reading books or learning a new skill. I would really recommend you that you learn a new skill. Find any skill that you like, that you enjoy. Maybe you can start learning and building that skill instead of spending late nights with friends. I mean, you can always make short visits. You can always schedule time to visit your friends, but do not make the same mistakes. Do not go on weekends and spending late nights with people, with friends. Instead, you need to protect your time. You need to protect your energy. You need to protect, most importantly, your sleep. And when you get good health, good enough, sufficient sleep, you become a healthy person next day. You are more productive. You are motivated. You are driven. You are staying aligned with your purpose, with your goals, with your dreams. So I used to talk about dreams. I used to talk about vision of future. I used to talk about living purposeful and meaningful life in the normal days. But because of my bad habits, I would go and waste weekends. I would waste late nights hanging out with friends, with people. And then later on, I would feel disappointed, overwhelmed, stressed, and regretful. And I would constantly criticize myself for not having control or being disciplined enough of my own life. And I would tell myself, okay, last time I was talking about goals. Last time I was talking to those people about my dreams, about my vision of the future. And look what I did. I went back to bad habits and I wasted a big chunk of my time, whereas I could have followed my structure, whereas I could have replaced those bad habits with good, healthy, positive habits and stay aligned with my goals, with my dreams, with the vision of future, and being honest with myself, with those people, and stay on track. So this is a very bad habit. And the other common bad habit that is very big time waster is, instead of going out for restaurants or bars and spending too much time eating unhealthy meals or fast food or drinking in bars like beers, whiskey, or alcohol. Instead of all that, you can replace this bad habit with a good, healthy, positive, happy habit where you are cooking healthy, delicious meal at home and you are enjoying spending your time or enjoying your meal with your family. Okay, you tell me, going out, wasting your time, wasting your money, wasting your health on fast food restaurants, on bars, listening to music, or drinking, or talking with other drunk people. You tell me, is this a good for your life? Is this a good use of your time? Is this habit is making you a better, healthy, positive, happy, fulfilled entrepreneur? Is this habit is transforming your entrepreneurial life? Just be honest with yourself. Just ask yourself. If you are someone who goes out and visits those unhealthy fast food and unhealthy junk food restaurants and spending too much time with other people that don't have goals, that don't have dreams, that don't have a vision for their future, you go and spend time in nightclubs or bar and you waste your time, you waste your energy, and you stay off track from your direction, from your mission in life. Instead, you can spend time with your family, cooking healthy meal, enjoying being with your family, spending time with your family, and you are saving your time, you are saving your money, you are protecting your health from unhealthy chunky food and from unhealthy chunky and drinks. So the other bad habit and the other common time waster that so many entrepreneurs make is some of those people, they play video games for hours. Last time I met a guy, he told me I would sit and play a video game for, I don't know, maybe 7, 8, 9 hours in a day, and I would skip sleeping during the night. So I looked at that person with a shock, and I felt so shocked, so confused. I said, this guy is living a disaster life. Like, this guy is living a very unhealthy life. Like, you're spending hours playing video games and not doing something you love, not doing something you enjoy, not working on a project, on a product, on a service that would improve other people's life, that would make a big impact in this world, that would make a difference in this world. You're wasting hours playing video games. Like, we live in a world where there are so many noises, so many distractions, so many things that are wasting our life, that are not making us a better version of ourselves. And one of them is playing video games. I do not like playing video games because I have a community there that is waiting on me to help them, to serve them, to support them. There are many families out there that they need my help. There are many sport clubs that I can go become volunteer and helping others. There are many other things that are very good for my health, for my family, for my happiness, for my fulfillment, that can make a big impact in my own entrepreneurial life. So instead of wasting time playing video games or watching TV or scrolling on social media, you can go out and just volunteer, do volunteer work, like join any sport clubs like I do. I joined the gymnastics sport club here in my local area in Sweden, and I've been in that club for almost a year now, 4 seasons, my friend. Every weekend, instead of wasting my time watching TV, wasting my time scrolling on social media, wasting my time going to restaurants, wasting my time playing video games. I would go out and help young kids, girls, families with their gymnastic training. Even though I'm not really good in this sport, I don't do this sport, but I love helping others. I love being volunteer. I love serving my community, because playing video games would never make you or make me a happy person. Playing video games is just wasting our time, wasting our life. There are so many things we can do that are much more enjoyable, that are much more fun than playing video games. Going out, helping those kids in their gymnastic training brings me so much more happiness, joy, enjoyment, and fulfillment into my life. I love them. I love helping others. I love making a difference. I love serving. So if you have this bad habit of scrolling on social media or watching TV or wasting your time playing video games, go out and do some volunteering work. Like, be in service, in helping others, in helping your community. There are many families, there are many kids with goals, with dreams out there that they need you. They need your help. And you, as an entrepreneur or a solopreneur or a family who runs a business or a business owner or a company owner, your mission in life, your purpose in life is to help others, to serve others, to provide products and services. So avoid this bad habit of playing video games, scrolling on social media, or visiting those unhealthy restaurants or bars, or wasting time on your TV. Instead, go out, help others, be volunteer. Someday they will help your kids. Those people, those sport clubs that you help, someday they will help your kids. Someday they will train your kids. Some other people, they will become volunteers just like you, and they will help, they will support your kids. So why don't you do the same? Because helping others, being in service, brings so much happiness, so much healthy, so much fulfillment into your entrepreneurial life. So I do not like waste my time on anything that is not aligned with my goals, with my dreams, with my mission, with the vision of my future. I do not like. And the magical thing about realizing that I've been wasting a big chunk of my time in my life on things that aren't making me a happy person, that aren't making me more successful person, that aren't helping me make progress in my life, in my business, in my relationships, on that aren't making me a new version of myself. So the magical thing of that and the result of this was, by the time I was constantly becoming aware of these habits, and while I was replacing those time wasters with good, healthy, positive habits, what ended up happening is I started to build an identity for myself. So during the time, I built a new identity for myself. So I started to remind myself, I started to say to myself every day that I am a type of person who doesn't like waste time on anything that is not aligned with my purpose in life, with my meaning in life, with my goals, with my dreams, with my vision of my future. I do not waste time. I use all my time, all my energy, all my effort on my future, on my healthy life, on my goals, on my dreams, on my business, on my vision of future, on my community, on the people that I love, helping them, supporting them, serving them. I always talk about serving others. I always talk about helping others, even when I meet local people outside. because this is what makes me happy. This is what makes me more fulfilled. This is what drives me. This is what motivates me. This is what makes me live a happy, purposeful, and meaningful life. Is to not waste time on things that I know that are not making me happy person, that are just wasting my time. So stop copying others, stop mimicking others. Do not copy their bad habits. If you see some people that are scrolling on social media at the gym, well, they are not there to train their body. They are not there to improve their health. They are there just to waste time. If you see people at the restaurants standing in lines in fast food restaurants ordering pizza or hamburger, and they don't feel shameful about their habits, they're standing in a queue, or they're standing in a line, and they're wasting so much time ordering unhealthy, chunky food. Do not look at those people. Do not copy people who goes to restaurants or bars or nightclubs, and they're sitting there and talking behind people, talking about life and chasing pleasure. They're wasting time, they're wasting their money, they're wasting their life on things that are not purposeful, that are not meaningful. Do not copy those people. They have bad habits. Do not copy or mimic people who spend their weekends out or sitting and watching TV or scrolling on social media because they don't have goals, because they don't have dreams, because they are not aiming to build a better life for themselves, for their families. They don't care about helping others. They don't care about their community. They don't care about their families. They don't care about clients. They don't care about communities. So do not mimic, do not copy those people. They have bad habits. But you, my friend, you are building a better life for yourself, for your family. You have a mission in life. You have goals. You have dreams. You have a vision for your future. So you own your business. You live your life and don't look at other people. So instead of wasting so much time on things that are not making you happy, that are not improving your life or your family's life, instead, during the weekends, you can go out and spend time outdoor in a beautiful nature place like I do. Or spend time doing some outdoor physical activities with your family, with your kids, maybe biking, maybe mountain biking, maybe jogging, maybe playing soccer ball or playing basketball or skateboard. So going out and spending time outdoor with your family, with your kids, and doing some type of physical activities is a really good, powerful habit that will not only improve your own life, that will improve your family's healthy life. So your kids are being outdoor, your kids are being close to you, your kids are learning and building better habits from you, from their parents. Your kids are moving their bodies, they're doing some type of physical activity instead of spending time playing video games or watching content on social media or scrolling on social media. So these are some of the time wasters. These are some of the habits that wasted so much time of my own life, and I made so many mistakes. And this was one of my mistakes, is that I spent a big chunk of my life on time wasters, and those time wasters, they were taking a big chunk of time from my own life, but I wasn't aware of them. I didn't learn. So that's why I created this podcast. That's why I choose to talk about this topic in this episode, because I want to help you to avoid these time wasters so you don't end up feeling overwhelmed or stressful or regretful when you look back at your life, when you look back. years from now, and you realize that you spent a big chunk of your life, you spent a big chunk of your time on things, habits, activities that were time wasters. Instead, you can start to follow a structure, you can start to design your own daily entrepreneurial life. So you are building a new version of yourself. You are becoming more happier, more healthier, more fulfilled, more successful in your daily entrepreneurial life. Because once I became aware of those habits, once I shut down, I removed some of those time wasters, some of those habits from my own daily life, I started to be more focused. I started to have more energy. I started to be more happy. I started to feel more healthier in my own life. Once I shut down, once I blocked, once I removed, once I replaced some of those habits. And one of the habits that I had before, I used to go out and spend hours, like many hours, on sport events, like watching hockey or football or soccer ball. But I realized that I couldn't focus. I couldn't do the hard work. I couldn't be more efficient. I couldn't complete tasks, projects. I couldn't make it to the deadlines because I was spending many hours outdoor on sport events, whereas I could have spent that time on my business, on my studies, on my future, on my goals, on my dreams. So some of those habits that are consuming, they're taking a big chunk of your time in your life, I promise you. But those habits are running in your life behind the scenes. They are stealing your time, your energy, but you don't realize them. So what I recommend you to do is try to reflect on some of your daily habits. Try to reflect or identify some of those time wasters in your daily life so you don't end up doing the same mistake. You don't end up wasting, days, weeks, months on some of those habits that you don't know about them, that you unknowingly repeating them, but you don't realize how impactful they are, how much time they're consuming. At least, for example, if you go on your settings and review how much time you have consumed on one of the social medias, like for example Facebook, if you look at your activities or how much time you have spent on scrolling on social media, you would be shocked, my friend. You would find that you have spent or wasted hours each day, each week on only that one single social media. So imagine how much time you're wasting, how much time you're spending on other habits, on other activities, on other events. And you would realize that those habits, they are taking so much time from your daily entrepreneurial life, whereas you could have used that time to spend time with your family. You could have replaced those time wasters or those bad habits with good, better, healthy habits by spending time with your family, with reading, with adopting a constant learning journey, or developing new skills, or building and growing your business, or spending time on your health by doing workout, training, and improving your healthy life. So they are time wasters, they are impactful, they are preventing us from making progress, that are preventing us from building and growing and scaling our businesses and achieving our goals and making our dreams come true. We all have goals as entrepreneurs, we all have dreams, but we need to work on this area. We need to remove those time wasters, those bad habits that aren't serving us, that aren't making us a better versions of ourselves, that aren't aligned with our mission, with our goals, with our dreams, with our purpose in life. And we should replace them with better, healthy, positive habits that are a good use of our times. So, some of these reflections you can make, some of these questions you can ask yourself that will help you identify some of those time wasters. So, the first reflection is ask yourself, what are some of those habits or time wasters that are running automatically in my daily life that I need to remove, that I need to start to replace them with good, healthy, positive habits? And the next question is, what habits can I start to build that will save me so much time, that will help me maintain a good work-life balance so I can spend good time, good quality time with my family, with my friends, with my relationships, at the same time running and growing my business? So what are those habits that will help you save so much time? And the other next question is, you can ask yourself, what is the identity that I need to start building for myself that will help me avoid wasting time and instead use my time and invest my time on my family, on my health, on my business, on my goals, on my dreams? So what is this identity that you need to start building? You see, our goals, our dreams, they depend on how we live our daily entrepreneurial life. Because the structure that we are following, the good, healthy, positive habits that we are repeating, the good, healthy choices or actions that we are committing to every day will make us a better versions of ourselves, that will help us transform our daily life, and they will help us transform our life so we can become a better versions of ourselves. So your goals, your dreams, the life that you want to build for yourself, for your family, is connected to your daily choices, to your habits. So start removing some of those habits. Make a decision that from today, from now on, I'm gonna start removing some of those time wasters, some of those habits that aren't serving me, that aren't making me a better version of myself, that aren't helping me reach my goals, achieve my goals, or make my dreams come true. And start replacing them with good, healthy, positive habits that will bring you closer to your goals, to your dreams, and to the dream life that you promised yourself, that you promised your family to build. So that's it. That's what I got for you in this episode. I hope you gain some knowledge. I hope you start to become aware of some of your time wasters, some of those habits that are taking or consuming a big chunk of your time in your daily entrepreneurial life, and you start to work on them by replacing them, by building better habits. Please don't forget to follow me on iTunes or Spotify. This is where you get weekly episodes from my podcast. And don't forget to visit the links below down in the description area. You will find a link that will guide you to a free guide where you will start building better habits, breaking bad habits, and reclaim your healthy life. And also you can visit the link so you can follow me on Instagram. This is where I share daily, weekly content on my Instagram account. So you get a new short or a new reel video every day, every week, that will help you break through in your entrepreneurial life. Thank you so much for watching or listening, and I can't wait to publish a new episode. Bye everyone. That wasn't bad.